So this is a handheld Wi-Fi scanner that I made. It was written in C++, and it uses a Raspberry Pi 3 with a touchscreen. Now I'll just start up the application for you. 1 second, as soon as my camera decides to focus. Come on, focus. I think it's having trouble with the glare. Okay, so here you can see a list of Wi-Fi networks that are around the Raspberry Pi. If I were to press on options on the touchscreen, you would see that it changes to an option screen that's yet to be filled out. At the moment, it's just giving you details about the network that it's connected to and the touchscreen device that I'm using. Because the touchscreen device changes depending on how long the Pi has been sitting idle, it can sometimes change when you power back up. So I made the script auto detect the touchscreen device. You can then press the back key. It should go back to the main screen. And then we can either press on a Wi-Fi network on the screen and it will select it. Oh. And then, or we can choose these arrow keys at the side here, which will scroll up or down. I can also use a Bluetooth keyboard that I have. Well, let's be close. And on here, if I press up and down, you can see that it's changing selections on the screen. I can also press escape to quit the application, or left and right to go to the options screen, or to go into a Wi-Fi network. So with this one, I'm going to choose, let's just choose this Southampton FC one. Actually, so fly for a Wi-Fi. So I'll go into that network. Just wait for the screen to load. Now you can see that there's two different bars here. What's actually happened is each bar represents a different Wi-Fi scanner that I have connected to the Pi. So one would be WLAN 0 and the other one will be WLAN 1. And because they're in slightly different positions and on possibly different drivers in that, they will register different signals. I plan to have this so that it logs. You can kind of see on the screen here that it's not logging to a file, but eventually I plan to have it so that it logs the signal strength on both of the scanners, the Wi-Fi adapters, and that it also logs the time and the MAC address and the Wi-Fi that you connected to. So you could potentially walk around an area mapping the signal strength of a particular Wi-Fi network, and also you could just walk around and map the signal strength of all the Wi-Fi networks in your area, but you wouldn't get the two scanner bars that you would here in the logging file. I plan to put that in the options menu once it comes back. One of the biggest challenges I had with this was N-Cursors uses its coordinate system from the top left up here, which starts from 0, 0 and goes to each character on the screen represents one unit of measurement in N-Cursors, which goes down to the bottom right hand corner. But the touchscreen itself starts coordinates up here, and they start from about 400 to 400 along the X and I think 600 along the Y. That's the 0, 0 coordinate. And then as you get down to the bottom left hand corner, they change into 3,000 and by 6,000 or something like that. I'm not actually sure the scale that they're using, but I found marrying where you pressed on the screen to correspond that to an object in N-Cursors was quite difficult to do. But I ended up doing it, and yeah, it's working now. I'll put the link to the code that's on GitHub into this YouTube video, and you should be able to download it yourself. Just be aware that it was a prototype. The code's not especially clean, but it does work. It handles most errors somewhat, but it could be improved upon. One of the other things that I should mention is that around this area, because I live right in the middle of the city, as you can see down there, so yeah, that there is a lot of Wi-Fi networks around. So it's actually scrollable. This screen here, you can see it scrolling down when I press down or back up. Obviously, the arrow keys along the side also allow you to scroll. and the select button. Obviously, we'll go into that particular network. How this is running in the background is I actually have a couple of threads. One is the UI thread, which updates the screen. Another thread is listening for keyboard inputs from any keyboard that's plugged into it. And another thread is actually doing the scanning. Now, when you go into an actual Wi-Fi network, such as Blue Socks here, actually there's two threads running on this particular screen, one for each of the Wi-Fi adapters that's doing the scanning. Now, most of the classes that are written in this are statically typed so that you don't have to create a new one or whatever. They're all running concurrently together. It's not the most efficient way, but it did simplify the code somewhat, and I didn't have to worry about cleanup too much.